So if England are going to do well at the World Cup this year, Gareth Southgate, you have to stop doing this. You've played at a very, very high level in the game, and any other player watching this right now will know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when you play your very, very best games, you know that this has been automatic and instinctive. Your best games are almost like you're playing on autopilot, and there's a real reason for this, and that is because when we're highly trained in anything, so if you're a footballer, highly trained in the way that you play, that skill goes into a part of your brain, the unconscious, the subconscious, whatever you want to call it, and that part of your brain is where your automatic instinctive behaviors are held, and that part of your brain is incredibly powerful, incredibly effective. It is so fast at the decisions it makes and the way that it operates. Now, and in fact, that part of your brain, it can process around 2.2 million pieces of information at any one time. So that is why it is so effective at what it does. Now, if you take a player that is highly trained in a certain position, you probably know where I'm going with this now, and you take that player and you put him in a different position, he can no longer operate predominantly from that automatic instinctive part of his brain. Now when he gets the ball, there's a lot more conscious thinking involved. He's now got to think, what next? How do I play this game? Rather than those thousands of hours that are instinctive and automatic. So his club football, where he's automatically receiving the ball and doing certain things. When he's on the ball, he's doing certain things. When he's off the ball, he's doing certain things. And in certain areas of the pitch, he'll know his responsibilities inside out. Now we're getting into a problem, because that conscious part of your brain, at any one time, it can process 22 pieces of information. So we're talking 2.2 million and 22. So the unconscious part of your brain is 975,000 times more effective in this part of the brain. That is why when I work with the players that I'm working with, that is one of the big things that we're working on, to make sure that player knows his game inside out. When he receives the ball, he knows what he's going to do with it, or what he is likely to do with it. He knows who's likely to be around him, who's in front of him, what his options are around him, where he is on the pitch, all these things that are going to be automatic and instinctive within his play. And the thing is, if you take a player and you put them in this new position and they've got to rely now on this conscious part of their brain, it becomes a leveler. You could take a world-class player who is instinctive and automatic and does brilliant things, and now where they've got to think about things a lot more, now everything becomes slower. And what I'm talking about is that decision making becomes slower, the reactions become slower. And if you think now, they're up against players even that might not usually be at the level of these players, but now they're up against these players and they are playing their correct positions, so they are able to be automatic and instinctive. What we have now is we have a massive, massive leveler. It is much more important to play a player who is highly trained in a certain position than playing a player out of position. The only time that we should really rely on playing a player out of position is when we absolutely have to, when there's no other option, there's no other alternative. But you should not be making those decisions to play those players out of position, because you're taking a brilliant player and you are not giving them any option, any possibility of playing to the levels that they're able to play at, simply because of how that brain of ours operates. So please stop playing players out of position. And I hate the cliche, but it really does work here. Round pegs in round holes.